Hey everybody, this is Dr. Jesse Jackson, the third best-selling author and facilitator of the Don't Kick 'Em Out book and training series. Really excited about this series of videos breaking down the details of what the culture and a climate look like in a building and how to really know. What we find is that a lot of schools are struggling with their culture and the way, what culture is. Culture is what we believe and how we behave. It's what we believe as an organization, what we believe as a department, and what is our conduct towards one another. And when that is very inconsistent or and it's not healthy, the damage is brutal. It's very brutal, and it absolutely impedes academic growth. This is why this is an issue that must be confronted, because I have seen this issue literally keep schools one full letter grade, tested behind, because the dynamic between the adults was absolutely so horrible. Let's think about it. My question to you. Right now, do you have a toxic campus? Or is your campus trending in the wrong direction? What's going on in that building? What's going on in that energy space? What is going on in that dynamic between that principal and those teachers? What is going on in those dynamics between those teachers? Is there continuity of team? Are people working together? Or are people separating and you have a disconnected building? Here's what I want you to think. Chemistry is very delicate in a building, in a team. So if you have anything over 5% turnover, you really have to reestablish a culture every school year. One of the things that we do in education is extremely lazy is that we assume people know. We assume people know what we expect. We assume people know how things are done. We assume people just know. And the champions don't do that. The champions are very repetitive and always reminding, because what that establishes is a tone. We don't assume you know, and I have no problem with you hearing the same thing over and over and over again, because the thing that's being repeated over and over and over again is the thing that's going to make sure we win. Fundamentals is what creates champions, not the theory, not fancy. What we find is that people abandon the fundamentals too soon. And what happens is we neglect the fact that people have serious issues, have their own deal going on, and go through their own stuff, and that stuff seeps into the program, and before you know it, we could lose a whole semester on adult foolishness. I know this is true. So remember, a toxic workplace feeds negative behavior. So if it's toxic in a building, that does not give birth or energy to academic performance. Impoverished kids cannot go to school in a toxic school environment. They can't afford. See, if I come from a toxic house, I can't afford to go to school in a toxic environment. It really becomes all of our responsibility to pay attention to this, because the things that I have seen in my journey of the last 3 years have taught me, and I'm talking about elite level schools that are performing at a high level, have to give great detail to maintaining a positive, healthy school culture and climate. One thing we should always think about, what are those behaviors that when you see them, you got to be able to identify this stuff, man, because this stuff is serious. It's dangerous and it's serious. Gossip, negative talk, hearsay, issues about others, and then the people who listen to it. I always ask the question, which one is worse, the talker or the listener? I always know it's the listener. They're telling you something about your character that they chose you to spray venom and poison on another person. It's a character flaw. Attempting to impede coworker growth. That means we got new people coming in the program, and you feel it is your duty to bring them up to speed on the district or the school or how we do things. And what you do is you will not allow a program to move forward. It's like it's your job to sabotage the new principal, to sabotage our movement. And they do it. I mean, I'm saying this at a high level. They attack the students. Students are customers. Students are the customers. Students are the ones who pay the bills. You can't pay your bills without students in those seats. Negative talk about your boss or coworkers. It works both ways. Lack of production. So it amazes me how many people are allowed to keep their employment who don't work. So like, we hired you to do this, you don't do it, but we still pay you. That I don't get. Now you guys need to figure that out. I didn't say wasn't good at the job. I said don't work, meaning delinquent assignments. Kids get F's when they don't turn in their work. Or in some districts they do, because we got some districts out here who believe in their better judgment that we don't give kids zeros and F's, we give them 50s. And you should be aware you are wrong for that. Are you preparing them for the world they live in, or your world of self-esteem deficit? Because the world I live in, when I don't work, I don't eat. When I don't turn in my work, I get fired. In my training world, if I don't deliver what the person who brought me there to do, I get fired. That's money I lose. That's reality in my world. What world are you preparing your students for? Number 7, tardiness, absenteeism, people not coming to work. Not really sure how that works. You know, people live close to the job, but they're still late. And typically when people are frequently tardy, they're telling you they don't want to be there. I mean, nobody's tardy to the place they want to go, to the Cowboy game. I mean, to the Patriot game. They're out there at 6 in the morning, and we don't play to 8 tonight. Come on, that tardiness is giving feedback. It's resistance to the task. I don't want to be there. And last but not least, poor teamwork. Can't get the adults to work together. So if the adults don't work together, you know, we're in trouble. And so this is what the destructive organizational behaviors look like. And it becomes so important for me to continue to teach on these things, bring these things to the forefront, because what I'm seeing is this is holding organizations back. So organizations that should be testing well, organizations that want to get out of that F rut, want to get out of that D rut, they are overlooking the details. And these details, these things have an impact on your energy. To be able to teach, teaching requires good energy. It's a good spirit. Great teachers have great spirits. They have the spirit of education, and they are encouraged and enthusiastic. And if the teacher doesn't have that, you see these deficits. You see the negativity. It takes good energy to be successful. And so when you have someone going against your energy, poisoning the environment, holding us back, slowing us down, what you start to notice, we can't be successful. And this has been my findings. If we can get this a part of the adult equation right, I present to you, we can double our results in production. If I can fix a culture and get a culture in a better space of good energy, continuity of care, everyone working together, everyone in a good energy space, I present to you, our test results will show that in the bottom line. Our kids can learn. Our kids can't control themselves. And I can't have impulsive children working with impulsive adults. It doesn't work. These are things I know for sure. If you're struggling with this, you have to take action. You have to do interventions. You have to try to help your staff. And without doing that, you will suffer the bottom line. You'll be sitting there with an F on your test scores, and we have all these talented teachers in our building, but we're still getting embarrassed showing low results. And the deficit is not in whether the kids can learn. It's not in whether the kids can teach. It's the emotional energy that's between the adults that also trickles down to between the children and the parents. And that energy stops the continuity that's required to be successful. Dr. Jackson here. I know these things are facts. This is my entire practice. I know it's the truth. I know it's the truth at the corporate level, athletic level, school level, home level. This is what holds us back and slows us down. You know you need help with it, as always. Please share this video with others. Also reach out. We do our best in serving as many as we can. If you know we can help you, we love to. Dr. Jackson, I'll see you in the next video.